Hey everyone, today we are looking at the Rink Rat Trickster wheel in the XXX soft grip, which is meant for indoor inline hockey. Now the question is whether this is the best wheel for playing indoor inline. For myself, I usually play outside, so when I'm looking for a wheel, I want something that gives me a similar feel to the outdoor game. From my personal experience, I am a second-year indoor league player, and I mostly play on indoor polished concrete. So if you take an ice rink and remove all of the ice, you can actually play on that polished concrete surface. So I play on a league that regularly runs out of different ice rinks in my city. Now, the question is whether this is a good wheel for that kind of surface. So a lot of people who go from outdoor to indoor will find that the grip is really different. The grip is maybe a little bit unpredictable. It's hard to balance on some of your cuts and your turns. Maybe you're just trying to transition or pivot and you'll find that you're a little off center. So I'm hoping that this Rink Rat Trickster wheel is the solution to some of those problems and maybe something that helps you to translate your outdoor skating to your indoor skating. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so in this first set of clips, we're basically just looking at some basic skating with the Rink Rats. Here, I'm just testing out the edges. So doing a couple turns, maybe a little heel plant stuff, just to demonstrate the grip of the wheel. So as you can see, a lot of basic maneuvers are doable with these wheels at moderate speed. So doing like little 10 and 2 kind of stuff and turns and cuts doesn't seem so bad. In this example, I'm trying some more deep cuts here. Now, with different wheels, like say the Lebeda Unions, you'd probably slip out or fall doing a turn like this. So with the Rink Rats, it's pretty good. Now, one of the biggest differences between indoor and outdoor skating on a surface like this is that there's a lot of grip in a straight line and a lot less grip on a turn or when you're on your edges, especially at speed. So it kind of changes the style of skating. But in this clip at least, I'm demonstrating some transitional skating moves here just to show you that these things are possible and somewhat comfortable with time with these wheels. So here's just another clip, again, where I'm doing a lot of like pivots and backwards crossovers with the Rink Rats. Now in this clip here, just demonstrating practicing an edge control drill. This one was a little bit challenging, so I'm trying to just snake back and forth on the outside edges. This one was a bit challenging because it's a little more difficult to trust your edges with these indoor surfaces here. So now we're moving on to stops, and one of the biggest differences between this indoor polished concrete surface and outdoor skating is that stops are more abrupt. So in this case, the Rink Rat Trickster has a lot of grip, and when you stop, there's not a lot of lateral give. It really bites into the surface, creating that really strong sound. So you get a pretty abrupt stop. All right, in this last set of clips, I'm just doing some moves with the puck. And as you can see, I'm doing little turns and stuff like that. So maybe unlike outdoors, when you do a turn here, you have to really use different stabilizing muscles to make sure you don't fall over. Maybe your stance needs to be a little bit wider, or at least it's less forgiving than it would be on an outdoor surface. Now here are some shots taken from a couple different angles by my friend Tony. And here are some examples of some transition one-timers from the right side. So as you can see, no problem with the Rink Rat Trickster. I'm not losing my balance or anything, well, too extreme at least. And finally, here's some passing with another teammate of mine. Again, demonstrating some of the transitional skating that you can do with the Rink Rat Trickster. So in that little example there, you could see did a heel plant. Now, you get pretty good grip on those, but again, any kind of lateral movement, I would say, is a little bit unpredictable with this surface and even with this wheel. So I would say this wheel isn't really a perfect solution. Okay, so some concluding thoughts. Overall, this is a pretty good wheel. It doesn't solve all of the problems that exist when you play on indoor polished concrete, but a lot of it I think just has to do with the surface, and there probably is no perfect solution. Overall, though, this wheel allows you, with enough time and practice, to be able to do a lot of the skating that you would be able to do outdoors. So after enough repetitions, I find that doing turns, cuts, stuff like that, skating backwards, doing stops, it's all possible with the Rink Rat Trickster. And after a certain point, you don't really have to think about it, and it doesn't feel that weird when you are skating. So I would say that the initial shock that you might have when you go from outdoor to indoor is something that just might kind of come from experience and is a matter of your ability to adapt. But overall, this wheel is pretty good. It's not a be-all end-all solution, but it's something that definitely works, and I would highly recommend it. Anyways, that is the review for the Rink Rat Trickster. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.